Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Skyline Gaming Community Weekly Series 11 quarterfinals. It's your boy T-Van, joined by Zane, once again, the dynamic duo from yesterday, and we are facing off against One Up versus East Coast. We saw both of these teams yesterday on stream, and so I am very, very excited for this matchup. How are you feeling over there, Zane?
Yeah, I'm feeling very stoked because we saw East Coast having a very, very nice game yesterday. So I'm very excited to see how they pull up against One Up Esports here because mind not, One Up Esports, we haven't seen any of their game yet on this tournament from yesterday's stream. We did stream few of the streams, but none of them was One Up. So I want to see how well One Up goes up against this East Coast team here as we quickly hover onto the map bans and look at the map bans. It is going to be Clubhouse being the first map of the day, and Border with the second map, and Cafe with the third map. Guess what? I like all of these maps. And starting with the Clubhouse, which we saw a lot of times yesterday, I feel very good. I think Esports did win their game in the Clubhouse yesterday.
Yeah, both of these teams have faced off in two of these maps. Like you were saying, East Coast got a 7-2 victory on Clubhouse against Team Unhinged, and then One Up got a 7-1 victory against Lethal Steppers on Cafe. So both of these teams pretty experienced with these maps, especially in the new tournament. But something I do want to remind the audience that will be switching things up is this is the brand new Rainbow Six patch. So we are going to
Yes.
be seeing Sentry and Striker all enabled. So some interesting changes as well. The flashbang change for me personally is the most notable because I no longer will be burning my eyes. But so far, looking at the brackets, One Up Esports has looked absolutely dominant. They faced F2C with a 7-2 victory, and then facing against Frontier, another 7-2, and then taking down Lethal Steppers with a 7-1. And so this team just seems like an absolute force to be reckoned with. And when we saw East Coast previously, it seemed like they were kind of struggling to get their feet, but they were able to build momentum on that chalet in the second half. So pretty curious to see how a rock against a building, almost scaling team like East Coast will really match up in a best of three like we're seeing today.
Yep, definitely. And with that said, like you said, this is going to be a completely new patch, so we're going to see a completely new type of rainbow today here. And with that said, we do see some still similar type of bands: Monty, Ying, Zami, and I'm guessing since it's a Clubhouse, we might see a Dokebi ban as well. Might as well go for it, because why not? But I think people are still going to be focusing on the older type rainbow with bringing in. Okay, never mind. It's going to be a Fenrir, which is also an agent or operator that we saw getting banned before as well. So
Yeah.
keeping the bans simple and same from before. I do want to see what type of operators they want to bring up, because there are some operator changes as well. Not only gameplay, but it was a major update. So there's a lot of them.
Yeah. And we're going to be seeing two of them already picked up. Solus, something that got majorly nerfed. And I know a lot of people, when that nerf was being revealed, were saying that Solus was going to be absolutely gutted, unplayable. I was somebody that also thought that way. You're no longer able to use the sensor during the prep phase, so your prep phase drones are very safe. Also, there's it takes a lot more time to recharge your sensor, and you need your sensor to be fully charged up in order to use it. So it's not as active as it was previously. But the intel that you gain from that sensor, that IO sensor, is still very, very potent. And as well as Fenrir, the utility is still good.
The HUD, if you look at that, it's completely changed. We're looking at the
Yeah.
new HUD after the update. It used to be
This
on
is
the
still
right and left side, and the team names on the top have been changed as well. The HUD is completely new. I'm loving this new HUD, though it might take some time for us to get used to this newer HUD. But I mean, let's see what happens, right? I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
far I like it. I like some newer things to look at every now and then. So yeah, I mean, excited for this.
Speaking of old, however, we are going to be going into the master bedroom hold here for the defender side, and One Up Esports already with a really fast garage take and a main breach take. They are not slowing down this tempo at all. Emo to turn here on the Ash, this tip of the spear going into this contest of CCTV in cash, but Pepre on that solo is able to find Ku down at the bottom. That buck, that verticality play that OneUp Esports was probably going to rely on to start pinching Master Bedroom. So it's going to slow that push down a little bit more, and now OneUp Esports has to kind of slow it down, think about what space they really have, and also try to root out the Solus who's playing still on first floor.
Yep, definitely looks like the vertical angle is there, but looks like Shaizera is going to be the one finding Emo 2 turned here. And Emo 2 turned is somebody we didn't see because he's from OneUp. And Shaizera, I think, is a sub from the side of East Coast because he did not play yesterday. So we have a bit of a sub coming in from the side of East Coast, but I'm not sure if OneUp is playing with the same roster as they did yesterday. But I do see some names that are familiar, like Fragged. I do know him from previous tournaments as well as Willy 2K. So these are good players. I mean, obviously they have passed out the group stages, so they are not someone to be taken lightly, because we saw every other team that did not have the potential to make it did get disqualified. I mean, as a disqualified, I mean like knocked out in the group stages. So if you made it to the group stages, you are on that top 8. And with that said, Willy 2K will pick up Pepre. It looked like the defender side advantage there, but all of a sudden the attackers, they take it to an equalizer there with the double kill happening, and now it's all down to the last few person turned. He does have a clean angle onto the guy here, but could not find the shot. Going for it, and there we go, the Zampozo from yesterday, the man. But,
Myth, the legend, even.
Yeah.
But this take is getting sloppy here. OneUp is taking up a lot of space. Cassiopeia able to deny the Dokkaebi pressure here, but once again, Cassiopeia trying to get a little bit of pressure, but that prone angle is just too good. East Coast actually clawing away this round. I thought that was OneUp's round for sure. They had the gym control. They had the construction control. They just had to fight off those members that were snuck into Logi and stairs, but unable to find anything. The briefcase unable to go down. The support there from Highway. And I think Willy getting taken out from that Nitro cell from underneath, I think it was a pre-placed Nitro, completely blew open that round and leading East Coast to the first round of the quarterfinals.
Definitely there. And with that said, East Coast just having that first round, they did manage to play a very nice coordinated gameplay yesterday on the defender side. We have Kicks Up, Cassiopeia, Shaizera, Zampozo, Pepre on the squad here. On the OneUp side, we have Kuz, SNZ 2 turned, Willy 2K, Fragged, and Emu 2 turned. So they have 2 players 2 turned. I don't. For sure. I'm not sure what that is, but they're 2 turned. That's all I know. They are 2 turned. Yeah. And this time around, we see a few changes coming in from the side of 2 turned. Just turned from Hibana to a Grim. I guess want to go for that aggressive rush onto this side.
This is interesting. So they have the Dokkaebi and Blitz, which to me is showing maybe a fast play, especially with the Ashe as well. But the Sens, I'm really curious to see where the Sens is going to be using their utility, because we usually see, like, the only time I see Sens personally is in Border, but we're going to be seeing Ku pressuring into Secret already, pushing that Red Stairs player all the way up to second floor, and Willy is able to clean up that kill. That's Kicks Up, Solus. That was a beautiful pinch there, going into Garage and killing that top red player. And so now Secret is fully in OneUp's control. East Coast still has Pepre in club, able to be maybe a spoiler here, but they're not playing towards main stairs. They're playing towards Secret. So unless he gets to Lounge and can get a flank from Lounge, his spot is not going to be that useful here.
Definitely, and look at that. They're actually trying to open up the basement here from the escape tunnel here. Will not be able to find him, not as long as he is shooting those stuff from the long arrow and his shield comes in from the blades. Oh, he's going to be able to get it. He's going to be able to knock him off and get the kill onto there. There was also a C4 kill, but so much is going on. That smoke is just being way too vital. I'm not sure for who though, because attackers did completely use that smoke in their favor, and now they have the diffuser planted out. It's all down to Pepre, the last person alive. He is holding out on that basement. Still, they don't know where he is, or do they? He's gonna shoot the leg. He's gonna get a little bit of shots connected, but not enough to take them down. I think the HP bar is now top and down instead of left and right, so it kind of did confuse me. He's down to 49 HP, but Pepre, on the other hand, is down to 15 HP, but in Rainbow, we know 15 HP does not matter because all it takes is just one time to take him out, and it does, as SNZ, he is two-turned, takes him out, and that is gonna be the equalizer there for the side of 1UP.
I mean, 1UP played that so well. The blue crunch in Armory. I was confused of where the Sens was playing, but they used the Ash and Sens to go into construction, play dirt, get that control. The only defense that East Coast had into dirt was a single barricade, so they're able to just take that down. The smokes popping to flush out the person in back blue, while also using the Grimbies to get the ping on them so that Blitz can rush, take him down, and at the same time, the crunch from construction able to just completely take over Armory, ignore all of Church, which is where a lot of East Coast was playing, and it was just hectic. It was fast. It was all 1UP's play, and it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, we saw it obviously won them the round there, but really well played there from 1UP. I love their strats that they're going for. I've never seen a blue take like that, so excited to see what they do to continue on with this.
Yep, definitely. And this time around, they have yet another basement plan that they are trying to go for, and we see that this time I think they're gonna try and do the same thing from the side of attackers, or maybe not. They are at the junkyard. Maybe they're gonna try to take up on that garage and perhaps go win from there, like we saw in the previous round. They tried to take out the controls of the map, going into the tunnels and then taking out that basement. But okay,
I think it's going to be more of a vertical play, more of a default take here. Usually when we're facing off against basement, you see a lot of kitchen control, like we see here, and using the Hibana to start taking out hatches, especially that kitchen hatch that you see, and also Moto hatch. And it looks like they're trying to go up to top floor to be able to try and get... Oh, wow, what an impact there to take out those X carries. That was beautiful. So now that Kaid... Electric Claw is going to stay safe for a little bit longer, but they're just going to garage just to clear and make sure that, you know, they have all the space that they need in order. They're not getting any late flank behind them. They don't have to worry about their back. They're able to just to focus on the verticality and focus on what is below them.
Yep, definitely. Pepre finds a kill onto SNZ, though it's going to be immediately traded out by Emu here, taking the hallway stairs control here. Gonna set up the demo charge, get those breaches down, and perhaps try to get that top play there. Hibana still having few charges left. Gonna try and open few of more traps. The gluey traps are there. And look at that. I like this play from Mira here. Just having that completely covered up. And kicks up, also holding that church angle, making sure that nobody enters the site from there. Detonate charge thrown in. The diffuser is there. They have 1 minute left. So one thing I did see yesterday that is happening is I'm not I kind of forgot their team name, but they were not focusing on time, which made them lose around the last game where there was an insane comeback. And I do wanna say something similar might happen if you don't play on the correct time. And look at that.
Wow.
Peak was there, but Cassiopeia is gonna get on top of frag there. Willie 2K gets taken out as well by Shaizira. Amazing defense coming in from the side of East Coast, still holding strong. Didn't lose any members after they lost Pepre at the very beginning of the round, and now it's all down to Emu and Ku here, who are looking towards that central stairs into the basement. But it's not gonna be that easy to go there, as we know that they are holding all the angles very carefully.
Yeah, and now it's going to be a church rush here. Cassiopeia just trying to defend Moto as much as possible. Kicks up is actually going to be the first one down. Turn here. Emu trying to find something, but is down to the pistol to be able to give... the plant is going down. The Nitro is going to be spoiling all of that. Cassiopeia doing a beautiful job of playing behind church, using the cover, and forcing 1UP into an awkward situation. But once again, I mean, that's the thing about Clubhouse is basement is so difficult to take, especially if you're playing towards a vertical, playing towards a default kind of map here, right? This felt like a default take, and East Coast was completely prepared for it. They just all hunkered down. Pepre was able to find an early pick as well to slow down one up. I think it was an aggression there from main stairs. And so East Coast just able to hunker down, hold the angles. The impact that was stopping that kitchen hatch from opening up as well was absolutely vital. And so now we're going to be seeing East Coast flipping to attack as this is the 3-3-3-3 format. And we're going to be seeing what East Coast brings to the table here.
Definitely. And I love me some good C4, like I always say, and that was a very smooth run coming in from East Coast. Having that last kill, I mean, he exactly knew where he was. He was going for the diffuser plant, of course. He didn't have much time to work with, and that's when you know where he is exactly perfectly placed as C4, and he gets taken out, and that's going to be another round secure for East Coast. And they're going to be trying something. Oh, never mind. They're going to be trying a different approach this time. They don't have the bomb on the basement anymore. I think they got it on, what's the place called again?
Master
Master
gym.
Bedroom. Okay, Master Gym.
Mm-hmm.
They have gym bedroom lineup here, so maybe we'll see a different approach from the side of attackers as well, because the moment that they start to get comfy with that basement or try to analyze their strat, whatever they were doing on the basement, guess what? East Coast comes up and oh, never mind, hold on, I forgot. It's a 3-3-3 format. It changed.
Yeah.
Oh no! I got bumped again.
Great analysis for next half, though. You know what I mean? Great.
Yeah. Yep, that is for next half. But I forgot. We are doing the new 3-3-3 format, which means 1UP Esports is going to be on the defense right now, East Coast, and that's why I think we see a different bomb location here in the gym bedroom. So it's going to be 1UP Esports. They're not going to go for the classic bedroom here. They're going to be going for the gym bedroom setup here with different agents. But let's see what happens.
They shot out the exothermite, the charge onto Logi Hatch, and so now they're gonna have to. They're using a Selma charge to open up Logi Hatch. They don't have any other way to deal with it. Oh, I think Cassiopeia was trying to go for that Logi. There's a Logi angle right there where you're able to go onto the vent. We saw kicks up on it earlier, and I think he just fell down. But speaking of falling down, Willie finding Zampozo on that jacuzzi breach, taking him down. That's the Osa down. I think their strat here was to play through jacuzzi. Get an Osa just locked up there and holding down top of red. And so now it's just up to Pepre, the Thatcher, to try and hold that wall. But now East Coast is kind of grasping for straws. We saw this on the Chalet match against Barrage. Sometimes they have a game plan going into a map, and if they are thrown off of that game plan, they start to really falter. They don't really have the ability to make a mid-round audible. And we're seeing that here. 1UP just completely shutting down any of the angles that they found, but also a lot of really small mistakes there from East Coast. Not being able to get that Logi Hatch open, Osa dying so early in the round. Those are little mistakes that in a tournament like this, where it's a best of 3, single elimination, you cannot be making. Because if you do, you're going to end up losing the map. You're going to go to the next map, which is probably your opponent's map, and you're probably just going to be knocked out instantly.
Yep. I mean, Clubhouse is a defense-sided map, in my opinion. So 1UP securing one round in the attacker side and then going to the defense round, I think they will be able to secure a few rounds for themselves here. They did win the first round, which means they have 2 more rounds left. If they can win those 2 more rounds, that is going to put them up in a great position there. And going on to the attacker side, maybe if they can secure 1 or 2 more rounds, that is going to be the game for them. But what I'm more interested to see is how are they going to defend this round? Because we saw a gym bedroom last time, and this time is going to be a basement plant. So they did change up their plan, even though it worked for them, 1UP Esports, right? Even though the defense worked for them, they immediately changed it up. So why do you think they changed it up? What is the plan reason behind this?
I got one simple answer for you, and it's for the fact that when you win a round on defense on a certain site, you can't pick that site for the next 3 rounds. So as much as they did win on Master, they're unable to go back to Master. So usually the secondary site that we've been seeing is either a CCTV take or a basement like we're seeing here. We did see yesterday, last time we saw Clubhouse, I believe it was, if I review my notes, it was the first game, Arcus versus Team Silenced. We were seeing first floor bar and games being picked up as well. We saw that being played a lot during Manchester because the second floor has kind of become a pretty easy take. But this is a Manchester. This is a Tier 4 tournament, so, you know, it's back to comfort. Comfort is so important. But speaking of comfort, Emu stuck here in cash, trying to play that late lurk and has fragged in bed as well to be able to support that. But there's going to be a lot of pressure. I think if East Coast is able to discover that there's 2 in the top and they have blitz, they could just opt to just rush basement. There's only 3 on site, but instead it's going to be Cassiopeia on the blitz, trying to take up as much space on the second floor as possible. He's going to be discovering 1 in Logi through those footholes. But I don't know how much support Cassiopeia really has. Zampozo holding bot red, and so it's going to be a pinch here. They're going to try and force them down main stairs, force them to give up their positioning. But they're actually not going to care. They're going to switch down to basement take here. Shizera trying to find this blue player. Actually finding the angle. That's SN2 down now. And now it's going to be this dirt flank here. Pepre, if he knows the timing on the Warden. Ku, who gets it? It's going to be Shizera getting it. And Pepper finding another one. And Zampozo finding the last frag of the round. And what a beautiful fragmented attack there from East Coast.
Yeah. I mean, that is something that I was really looking forward to from the side of East Coast. One Up Esports, they were doing absolutely amazing on the first round of the defense, but East Coast, I feel like when I saw them picking those operators, I feel like they were cooking something, and they did cook something really, really nicely, and it worked out perfectly fine with them. And again, see that attacking lineup? They have Hibana, they have IQ, they have Rokibi, Ash, and Deimos. I feel like this lineup is gonna be really, really strong against this defense lineup. But then again, I'm sure One Up Esports, they have a much better hold up this time. They're gonna go for the same site once again, since they were not able to defend it last time. But I think they might be able to. I have a question for you. What do you think went wrong for them in the last round, and what do you think they should fix in their defense?
Yeah, East Coast did a really good job of flushing out the late lurks in second floor, and I think One Up needs to either have the Solus and Legion support each other a little bit more and try to contain more space, or have them fall back earlier, because neither of those things happened. It just kind of felt like Solus and Legion were getting pressure on the top floor. East Coast was only using 1 or 2 people towards the second floor flush. It was the Blitz and the Lion, I believe, kicks up helping that out. And then the other 3 members were able to take up so much space. They were able to take Secret, and they were able to take up Dirt, right? And so when you're a defender, when you're 1 up, you're forced to play some ones. You're forced to play 1 person in oil, 1 person on site, and 1 person in church, right? And so when you're spread out and East Coast has the information that they need, they can just easily pinch you, and there's no one to trade you out. So it was all up to ones there on that defense, and East Coast showing that they have the better skills and the better gunplay to be able to secure that round.
Yep, definitely. And going on to the second, sixth round here, we're going to see a pretty slow approach coming in from the side of East Coast. And just like before, they're trying to get as much as information as they can, trying to send out those drones and see whatever they got. And looks like IQ is going to detect... never mind. I keep forgetting the UI has changed, and I have to look at the bottom right now instead of looking at the left and right. Gonna get some of those breaches to get those top view. The bottom, we're gonna see a tunnel flank here. Is it a tunnel flank? Never mind, it's not.
No, this is the tunnel player that we saw last time was Warden with that shoddy that got shut down. But Kicks up doing a really good job there of trying to find all the Valkyrie cams, seeing if they were using any of them to hold first floor. But oh my god, that verticality frag, finding that kill, and that's the Hibana down before they're able to get the hatch. They use so much time to try and get that kitchen hatch open, and now that's your only hard breach available, just off the board completely. So now it's up to, can they get this main space? And it's going to be the Ash here, Zampozo, trying to see what he can find, but Emo2 finding Kicks up immediately as well. So that's both of the kitchen players down. And now it's up to the Audible of East Coast. What can they find instead? The Logic Bomb going through here. So now this could give Pepre some information of how much space he can take, but it's not going to be a lot. This crossfire here is going to be absolutely brutal. Wow, that shot unable to be found. Zampozo now snuck into oil, but going to be shut down from Fragged. A beautiful shot there. And now it's up to Splinter Cell, double agent himself, Sam Fisher, 1 versus 5 on the 0. And maybe a little bit of aggression here from 1UP to try to secure the round. There's Emu, finding that kill instantly with the drop shot. And, I mean, it's just back and forth at this point, Zane.
It is definitely a back and forth. Sometimes 1UP Esports is doing something right. Sometimes East Coast is doing something right. I think we are watching a pretty even game here. And they, no matter what they're doing, it feels like, like yesterday you mentioned, Rainbow does require adaptability as well as everything else, strategy and everything aside, right? How can you adapt to this? If one team is winning one round and then another team is winning another round, it's like you have to be so much in sync to adapt. Like, you gotta bring your adaptability to the next round, because every time one team is winning a round, the other team is changing everything up. It's completely adapting to it, getting that second round win. East Coast wins one round, 1UP adapts, 1UP wins one round, and East Coast has to adapt to it. Every time it is happening constantly, again and again. It was 1-1-2, then 2-2, and then 2-3, 3-3, and so on and so forth. I think it's gonna be 3-4, 4-4, 4-5, 5-5, and we're gonna have an endless infinity pool of this, unless like I say, the first 3 or 4 rounds is gonna be a warm-up round for them, and now the real play should be beginning when they have the mouse strict to their hand, when they start to become Scream, when they start to have their mouse glued to their hand and become those aimbots installing on their hands, on their veins, inside their blood. That's when they're gonna start popping up. And look at that, starting of the round, Pepre gets a kill onto Emu here, who was just going on the rooftop here. A pretty aggressive rush. I think this spawn aggressive rush was not expected from 1UP Esports here. I mean,
well, it's one of those adaptations that you're talking about before, right? If 1UP is taking, is not really doing anything to prepare, not really respecting those spawn peaks, then Pepre is going to say, hey, I'll take advantage of that. Running out of club, finding that kill there. Beautiful shot, too. Just instant timing as well, knowing the default cam. Some talks about the skins. I don't think people remember what default Jaeger looks like. But I do want to go back to that point that you're making, Zane, of how do you adapt. I think something that we're seeing from both teams is a lack of the audible. Once you get the information in the middle of the round, once you have a full understanding of what the setup is looking like, how do you switch up your game plan to try to find the gap? Where's the gap? Where's the utility that you can pick up easily and get into the site? And I think that's something that East Coast has really been struggling with. They have a setup, they have a game plan going into it, but if they're forced off of that game plan, they really struggle. We saw it against Barrage. We're seeing it now against 1UP.
Yep. And again, after getting those kills, it looks like the attackers, aka 1UP Esports, has slowed down for a bit, and they are taking it slow. Oh, it's gonna be finally going for the rush in, and they find Shaizera with an amazing shot here. Gets shot from the behind. He did not notice Pepre coming in. The super flank is there again. Pepre finding all those kills, very important. He's gonna find yet another one, Coup, and now it's a 1v3 situation, and no time. They were able to get the diffuser down, but guess what? At what cost? At the cost of their round, because they did not have anything on them. Pepre just securing the round for them, just getting it out in their favor.
You know, I was a little worried for Pepre because his Pep brother from yesterday was not in this map. But I mean, he was just showing off that he kind of has an idea of what 1UP is really trying to do, really taking advantage of the gaps that he's finding in their play and just finding these really pivotal kills. Usually spawn peaks and runouts, I mean, you're kind of padding your KD, you're getting kind of useless kills, but that kill right there, that opening pick on the Ash, that's one of those really main fraggers that you need, especially when you're 1UP. These players are relying on Emu to try and take up space, use those charges to be able to get a lot of space into construction, into site, playing highway. And so when that is immediately off the board, then what are you supposed to do from there?
Yeah. Um, I do see what I'm not familiar with this HUD. What is 125 and 110? Is that the
Oh,
HP?
yeah. It's their HP. So operators, this is good for people at home as well. Operators have different stats. So if you're a
Yeah.
3 speed, you have 100 HP. If you have a 2 speed, you have 110. And then if you're a 1 speed, you have 125 HP. So it's a little
Ooh.
trade-off of either you move faster, but you have less HP, or you have a lot of HP, but you move very slow.
In the old HUD,
Fun
this
fact.
wasn't visible. This was not visible at all. So I think
Yeah, it's
having the
just a
new
bar.
HUD, yeah, it's much better. And oh!
Oh, he's
Oh, wait,
He's
what?
doing the exact same spawn peek? No way.
And
But he's not gonna
he,
get punished.
yeah, how did he escape? I think that was a very impatient play coming in from Emu there. He could have gotten an easy free kill. Pepre, he did receive a huge chunk of damage though, but it wasn't it wasn't punished. It just went off, and Pepre just escaped out with that. He got the information that he needed. Maybe he was expecting a kill, but that wasn't there. But he's gonna be happy just to get away with his life there.
And now, yeah, East Coast able to get a lot of frags out here, a lot of space being taken up as well, but I think East Coast Pepre, honestly, unable to get that kill, but able to take so much time out of 1UP's attack, right? That's the Ash once again being slowed down, so now he wasted about 20 seconds trying to contest that gunfight, while the rest of his team is trying to set up this main breach play and also the garage play. And so now Emu, late to the play, fragged, might have been killed because of that late push. But now they are still taking up this garage space. Two with the Capital from below, but Shizer is able to flank, just run out, get a kill with the TSG, and fall back. Now it's 3 versus 3, a minute 20 remaining. Pepre might have an angle here from Lounge. He's making noise. I don't know if they heard it, though. But this could be a massive spoiler here. Emu has no idea. He's unaware, but the Capitao trying to find it. He's trying to get another kill, but he's unable to. It's the rematch from earlier at the beginning of the round, but Pepre is finally going to be taken down. But all the time is the biggest damage that we're finding. What an angle, but Emu shuts it down immediately. So now it's all up to Cassiopeia with the Warden shut down from Emu. And wow, that's the fragger that I was talking about before. Him being shut out of that round earlier was absolutely vital, and now we see him turned up, and he wins the round for 1UP Esports.
Yep, it is there, isn't it? 4-4 again, back and forth. Like I said, like we said, it's a give and take at this point. East Coast, you take one, 1UP be like we take one. So after the give and take scenario, I'm not even sure how to analyze this game even, because it feels like whenever someone's trying to do something, someone just outdoes them in a better way, and then again they get outdone in a better way again. It's just constant change of paces and different things that we're seeing. So far in this game, we haven't seen either of the teams do the same thing again and again. They keep changing their strats, they keep changing their positionings. Though that one thing, that spawn peak, that was kind of same, but he did not get punished for that. And I think they weren't able to secure the round though. But still, I mean, if he did get the kill again, doing the same thing, that would have been different. But yeah, going on to the ninth round, what do you expect from this game?
It's another basement hold. I'm really surprised none of these teams are utilizing Ram. I feel like Ram is such a massive pick on these kitchen takes because you're able to go from kitchen hallway and just rip open that whole wall. But oh my, Pepre is once again finding the Dokkaebi on that spawn peak. That's another huge op. That's 2 logic bombs off the board immediately. I was going to say, they're going to do a similar rush that they did before here with the Blitz. Try to push into Secret and have Turnt also put some pressure with the Grim. But now they have the logic bombs off the board. That's a lot of information that you need, especially when you're about to do a rush. If you're able to get that space and have that audio information as you're pushing into sight, it's absolutely vital. But now that off the board, East Coast is feeling really good with this turtle setup. I mean, look at all the utility that they have to go through. They have to go through Malusis, they have to go through Legion Goo Mines, and they have to go through the Black Mirrors. So up to Emu now, having to play the mini game that every Ash player now is relegated to, and taking out all the black mirrors. But the Twitch drum is actually going to pop that blue Mira. That's huge.
Yep. And with that Mira window gone, I mean, you just lost a position that you could have held pretty amazingly, but now you have to play a little bit more defensively, a little bit back off. Maybe give away the zone to them, because if the attackers start rushing in, it's going to be hard. Oh, that was a hard drop, but he did not get punished for that. Oh, wait, what?
No way.
He just walked in and died again. Pepre getting a double kill there, and that he's just going to get more even. And what just happened? One up just gave away the round.
This is a crazy turn of events. Let me break this down. Okay, so the Twitch drone pops the armory black mirror that is looking into blue, right? So that means that the armory players are able to shoot through it rather than having to swing armory door and help out the blue player. So that means that right there, you saw it right there, Pepre was able to survive a lot longer because he has the support from Shizera on that window. And so what normally would have been a really easy, clean kill on that person playing black-blue, or back-blue, Jesus, back-blue, being able to take him down and then focus on the armory players and gym players and start trading out from there, that rush was relegated because of the TSG shots supporting him and taking him down. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, the Twitch was able to take out the mirror, which is a big advantage for the attacking side, because then that's that defense down, but it actually bit them in the butt. It's little things like that that just go such a long way at this level of Siege. And oh my, this series so far is going to be crazy. This is only map 1 and we're already at round 10.
Yeah, I have one question for you though. And that is going to be, how do you think OneUp Esports is going to win this round? Because I know they're going to win this round. It is written by Oracle. It is written by Oracle. Okay, this is how this game is. How do you think OneUp Esports is gonna win this round?
I think. Well, okay, so look at East Coast Comp. They're trying to open up Jacuzzi and Main Breach and just get all of the space that they can. I think it's gonna be, actually, I don't know. I think there's gonna be somebody that gets an overextension here, and OneUp just is able to waste a lot of time, and maybe the contestant to construction is going to deny East Coast any sort of space. But there's not really any like big players on the side of OneUp that we're seeing compared to like what East Coast was bringing to the defense, where it was, you know, Pepre playing the late lurks, trying to get all that space. It's really up to, can East Coast get the space that they want, and what are they going to do with that space? We're seeing there Jacuzzi wall being open, and so now Turnt trying to get a little bit of space, SNZ. God, I keep looking at the ends. SNZ is trying to maintain that bathroom space, but Emu being taken down immediately, I believe, from Logi, and so now that's going to be breaking up the round, and Zan, I think you might need to hire a different Oracle, because it's looking like East Coast's round.
Well, East Coast does have everything open, but you do remember the players on the board are the ones that matters the most. Even if you have all the control of the map, even if you have more utilities available for you, it's all come down to players. We saw one player taking out 4 players yesterday, one player doing 3v1 clutch a lot of times, so maybe perhaps we are having a 4v4. It just needs one player. One of them has to just, you know, pop off. It can be Frag, it can be Willy, but guess what? It can't be Willy anymore, because he gets taken out, and now it's a 3v5 situation. The Oracle prophecy might not come true as of right now, as East Coast are trying to open it up again and again, and everybody's getting taken out, and this gym bedroom is quite open, as if it doesn't have any walls at all. And now they're getting shot from everywhere. The diffuser is going to be planted, and looks like Who is not just going to do anything. He's just going to walk in and die. Just gives up, gives it away, and the match point goes in the favor of East Coast. The Oracle is fired.
What a turn of events for East Coast. They were able to get all the space that they wanted, and within the first minute of the round, they were able to get Jacuzzi wall. They're able to get main server breach as well, in order to then pinch the construction players. And like I was talking about before, OneUp didn't have anybody anywhere else. Usually, you kind of see somebody play towards billiards down in the first floor near bar, in order to play the verticality and deny that gym pressure that they had. But they didn't have anyone. They had everyone tucked into the site. And I think East Coast did a beautiful job of playing the outskirts playing the outside breaches, using their ACOG advantage, getting picks, and trying to force 1UP Esports into these really claustrophobic, uncomfortable positions. And then once they are like fleeing or trying to get into a new spot or trying to make something happen, East Coast just immediately bites, immediately takes the bait, takes them down. And I mean, we saw it there. Pepre was the only person that died in that last round, and he did his job as Sledge. He broke all the castles, and that's all he needed to do.
Yeah. And with that being said, it is going to be match point, and East Coast, they just need to do similar things once again. They're going to need to open up those breaches, and they're going to try to make the side as vulnerable as possible from all the corners that they did in the previous round, and like use those sledges to open up those, break those defense barriers, those mirrors perhaps, and take control as much as they want. I like to see a all-rounded attack from all of the sides, right? So East Coast going into the match point, 1UP Esports, they gotta be careful. This is only the first map though, so they get another chance. Like I said, the warm-up phase should be over after the first map. Maybe in the second map we'll see a better course of action from them, but I'm not giving up on 1UP Esports as of yet, because you do have to remember anything can happen at this stage, right? We if I'm not wrong, the first map was picked by 1UP Esports. So Clubhouse is their map. So if they lose in this one, they have to play on the border, which was picked by East Coast. And East Coast are winning this map for the time being. So 1UP Esports have to be really, really cautious and start doing things that they should have been doing when they were... Oh, look at that. The mirror is completely shattered. Now you can't see anything in between anymore. That mirror is not going to be helpful anymore.
The Ash minigame, Baku able to find Pepper on the backside with a frag grenade from the death, I believe, from Pepper. Able to trade him out, and now it's going to be a flurry of kills. It's that defensive there. The mirror forced to pop the black mirror, so he's able to shoot through it. Shizera trying to get this space, but the mirror is still there, but he doesn't find the heady. If he was able to get that shot, that would have been absolutely massive, but this mirror is such a pivotal position, holding bathroom. And now it's up to Shizera linking back up with his player in short, but now it's Castle being picked off. He was able to find one though, so now it's 2 versus 2. Trying to find any sort of space that they can. It's the two turns. The brothers, Mira and Wamai. And Shizera is tucked towards stairs, still trying to find a freebie on the Wamai, but unable to find it. And now that's all the information that they need. But Cassiopeia is trying to lurk around. I believe he's trying to regroup into construction. And so that's giving East Coast these one... Oh, he's going to drop into Logi. He's trying to get any sort of space, but that drop into Logi is going to be taken down immediately from Emu. But now that's going to be shut down. 1 versus 1. Literally 1 HP from Shizera. Has the pistol out, but SNZ has a lot of HP to work with. The Vector, 1 bullet just needs to hit, and he's going to be shot down. 1UP Esports making this quite close, bringing themselves to the 5th round for themselves.
Just 1 round away from getting that overtime here on this... Clubhouse map. Like I said, it is the map for 1UP Esports, so they gotta know what they were doing. They have a reason why they picked this map. I mean, in a best of 3 game like this, you do ban and pick out your first map. They had a lot of maps in option. There was only 2 maps banned prior to their pick, so they had a lot of options and they picked Clubhouse. They must have had a reason to Clubhouse. Unless you are really strong, you don't pick the map on the first map, right? So 1UP Esports, I want to see what kind of strats they were feeling confident on coming onto this Clubhouse as their first map pick, and they got to bring it out, and maybe they got to force an OT. Perhaps we might see a comeback coming in from them as well. Maybe the game ends at 8-6, but those are all possibilities. Or perhaps East Coast, whatever mistakes they did in the last game, I feel like it was that one time when he was supposed to get that free kill coming from the back line, the shot he missed there on the stairs. That was the game right there.
Yeah, there was a lot of opportunities for East Coast to be able to win that round, but you can't let that really tear you down, right? You can't really find anything like that. Pepre, though, somebody that has been absolutely vital in this game. Now on the 0 once again. We saw him find a lot of space, but he was left in a 1 versus 4 previously. It's back to the basement. I'm really curious about why 1UP really picked Clubhouse, because it seems East Coast is also pretty comfortable in it. I think it was that blitz play that they found into the basement. I think they're like kind of low-key like one-trick ponies of like, hey, we have this really cool pocket play of the blitz and then pushing into construction secret pinch. What if we just do that a couple times and then they didn't do it a couple times? So, but all tensions here. Pepre is already. Is he deep into main already? He is, but he's gonna be spotted out here from SNZ. He's gonna be spotted out. 50 HP, licking his wounds, forced back. But that's a lot of space that East Coast is able to gain within the first minute of the round. But we saw this before, Zane. They had all the verticality that they needed. They just weren't able to get the hatches like now we're seeing East Coast able to get. But it's all up to the execution of what can they do with this space. Are they going to drop from Moto? Zampozo, we see him start to lurk back into main like we saw Pepre do, but once again, it's like a meat grinder. Unless they're able to get this mirror, which I think Zampozo is trying to do, you can't really push through main. Usually Mira has the C4 to use, which he still has as well. And Moto is just really hard, but now Pepper is actually dropping from Moto, the Moto hatch, and so it's going to be a little bit of a pinch here on this mirror. Zampozo pushing it, finding the kill. That's going to completely break open this round. Pep right now trying to find the blue player, trying to pinch him. The Grimpies is going to give him a live ping now too, but he has the reinforcement to be able to cook. And now Warden able to reconnect with his teammate. Zampozo taken down there from the footholds, but Pepper able to find Willie. So now 3 versus 4. That table player is absolutely massive, but we need to be watching these other players. Kicks up, dropping in from Kitchen Hatch. It's a flurry of kills. Shizera trying to confirm the round, and it's now up to Emu, somebody that's tucked into back church. No Nitro Cell, just the MPX and a Dream in East Coast. The whole squad flooding in, trying to find the last kill and bring themselves to the first map victory of the quarterfinals. And here comes the Deagle, finding 2. He's at a triple kill. All of a sudden, it's a 1 versus 1. But Kicks Up is not going to give any free rounds away. Able to secure the round. And that's East Coast getting the first map of the best of 3.
Yep, East Coast, they played absolutely amazing. They started out strong. They looked strong throughout the entire series, and in the end, they did have a bit of a mishap. But we can't give out to One Up. They played so good. I mean, it was their map, so I'm a bit concerned going into the second map. It's gonna be East Coast map. East Coast, if they beat One Up in their own map, what is gonna be happening in the map where it is the opponent's choice? But you know what? In these situations, I'm always, always, always not gonna give away anything to anybody, because I've seen a lot of games where people win in their opponent's picked map. Because I mean, how many maps do you have in Rainbow? Not many. So I mean, I'm sure they did play in
9 in the
Border.
pool?
9, yeah, 9 or 10 comp maps in 5v5. So, yeah, I mean, next map is gonna be Border, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
Correct.
Border, and it's a very default basic map that everybody has played in, of course. So we're gonna see some amazing Rainbow in Border as well. But I feel like East Coast will be having a great advantage going into the Border, because not only they won the first game, but also it's their map choice. They obviously have some strats and everything ready in going into the Border, so it's gonna be an interesting thing to see. But then again, it is 3-3-3 format, so no team gets advantage on any map, you know. So it is going to be interesting to see how well they perform on East Coast. I mean, on Border, sorry, from the side of East Coast.
Yeah, but until then, both the players and us are going to go on a quick break before we head into Border. So that gives you time to stand up, stretch your legs, get some water. But we'll be right back with an exciting map 2. Hey guys, and welcome back to Skyline Gaming Series, weekly series 11. It's your boy T-Van once again, joined by Zane, and we're going into map 2 of East Coast versus, I forgot their name, 1UP. Going into map 2 of Border, we saw a really close matchup of both of these teams on Clubhouse previously, and I can only expect Border is going to be equally or even more bloody. I mean, we saw Border yesterday with Barrage. Excuse me, not Barrage. It was let me look at my notes. Lethal Steppers versus F2C, and my God, was it a crazy map! And from what we saw in Clubhouse, I can only expect the exact same.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a similar operated bans here going into the second map. I guess Border and Clubhouse are operator wise kind of. I'm expecting to see similar bans. Maybe we'll see a Ying here like before, or maybe that's Solace. Even though you said, oh, never mind, the Dokkaebi, which was left out previously, is gonna be banned out this time around. That means Ying is still in the pool as well as Solace. But like you said, Solace is nerfed, so I'm not very worried about Solace. But Ying is still available there as well as Ace. These are the two operators. Azami is gonna be banned, which is pretty common. Like on Border, we saw Azami holding out that balcony is just massive and does get very annoying. And I guess the last ban we might see Blitz Fenrir.
It's a defense ban, so I'm assuming like a Fenrir, but the
Oh,
Valkyrie,
and Valkyrie. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So now that Fenrir has been nerfed, Fenrir no longer has as much of a map control and as much of a map presence as he did before. For those that aren't aware, his charges now are only 2, so he can only have two of his things active, and also he has 4 in total instead of 5, and they are all no longer bulletproof when they are not activated. So if you're able to find one with a Twitch drone, you can shoot it immediately. So we're going to be seeing Fenrir picked up, but I do think that now that Solus and Fenrir are knocked down a couple pegs, I think the Azami and the Valkyrie are going to really start popping up, and we're seeing it here in the bans. I was actually really surprised on Clubhouse Valkyrie was not being picked as much, but that's how it goes. But I think something that you said previously that I did want to bring up was the Ying being left open, and I think 1UP probably has a lot of strategies with Blitz and Ying. We saw it on Clubhouse, and Border is another really fast map. You see a lot of fast takes in Tellers. You see a lot of fast takes towards Archives or Armory, and so we're going to probably be seeing that in this exact round here going into map 2.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a second floor bomb, correct? Yeah, it's going to be a second floor. So I don't see any defense coming in on the CCTV. CCTV is completely left open. You think that's a really wise thing to do?
I think if you play outside of 90, you're able to really, like, the thing about defending CCTV is, like, you kind of really need an Azami to hold that, because there's a lot of angles you can be pushed from. But also, this could be just a really easy read from East Coast. It seems like they're putting 3 men towards Archives control, so they might be reading exactly into what 1UP is going to be doing, and that's this blitz push into Archives, get the plant down, and then play post with Capital in Ying Candelas. And here it goes. The first Candela going through. Zampozo is going to try and stop anything, but there's not a lot he can really do. But Cassiopeia on the Warden, able to shoot through the smoke, but he's going to be found out, and it's a flurry of kills. As the dust starts to settle, though, the plant is going down, but a lot of space here. Emu on the flank actually pushed into Archives through the smoke, able to find one. The plant is down, fragged, able to get out of there and play the post, but still, I think Emu is playing the prone angle, finding kicks up. He had no idea, and now it's up to Shizera, a 1 versus 2, but this play is going to be nearly impossible. This post plant here from fragged, you're going to see it. It's really difficult to deal with, and he is going to be meeting up with Emu now. They're going to be supporting each other, but you see it's in this corner, and then he's able to just swing off of it really easily, but he's sticking it. They have no idea. They're not going to be, they're pushing it, but does he have the time? He doesn't. Emu is good for the heady, and a beautiful opening round there from 1UP, really setting the pace for what Border is going to look like.
Yep, and 1UP, even though they did completely, East Coast, even though they had a pretty nice setup coming in from their side, but 1UP ESPORTS completely read it out, and I like that archive take there, and they were able to find those kills. I think Blitz falling out first in that round kind of got me worried there that this might not be happening, since he found an amazing shot through the smoke, but then again, they were able to bounce bounced back up from that pretty well, and they got the trade kills, and they were able to secure that round. One Up Esports one up in the first round here, but then again, we're watching something similar that happened before. One Up Esports was able to secure the first round in the other map as well, and then East Coast took 2 rounds straight. But I mean, it is East Coast map, so uh, even though it doesn't really matter, I want to see them do much better than they did in the previous round. And I think on the defense side, they should be able to do way better than this. We're gonna see an archive armory hold here, and this time around, it's gonna be, I think, almost similar exit here. We see 2 players on Valley, and 1 player on the West Road, 1 player on the East vehicle. So yes, it might be again an archive rush.
They don't have the Ying, nor do they have the Blitz this time, though. So it
Oh wait, they
might be
changed the
closer.
blitz. Oh,
No,
yeah,
they don't. Yeah, they had Blitz last round, but not this round. They have a Brava and a Grim. So I think what they're seeing is that East Coast is going to be putting a lot more pressure in utility to be able to defend. We're seeing the Maestro cams being used. Obviously, the Fenrir is being used, but also the Legion instead of the Solus. And so that's going to be pushing One Up to take up the Brava and trying to secure that utility and slow it down. Try to get that utility off the board so that when they start opening up walls and start taking up CCTV, like we see right here, Willie 2K finding that opening pick on Pepre. Now, as the attackers of One Up, they're able to take up the space and pinch East Coast into a really uncomfortable situation.
That is definitely true, and we do see a CCTV room hold this time around, though they don't want to give it away for some reasons. And inside the security room here, we see that there's two holding out the security room. There's gonna be SNZ, but they're getting shot from everywhere inside the office here, trying to take that out, and he's gonna be able to take 1 out. But guess what? In the return, they lose 3 members immediately after that. Just dealt some bullets. East Coast are not able to hold it out quite well, as One Up are just attacking them from every single corner right now. Armory Locker, they're just holding that up, but they have to run away. All the smokes are coming in, and that is going to be a push coming in from One Up Esports. They do have the site opened up for them. Triple kill for Willie 2K here, and now the last person alive is going to be Zambozo. It's going to need to be a complete ace clutch, which is not going to be possible as he goes down. Grim just blocking out all those sounds and everything with the bees, and taking him out at the end, and that is going to be another round for One Up here.
One Up just showing off that they know border a lot more than East Coast. I mean, something that I talk about a lot on this map is it's either aggress or be aggressed, and right now One Up is doing the latter. They are aggressing fast and not letting East Coast feel any sort of comfort in their own sights. We're seeing One Up just completely take all the space that East Coast is even trying to give. And there's some complaints about comparing this to old Consulate, but I mean, I feel like right now East Coast really isn't doing any favors for themselves. They're not giving themselves any sort of space to play around. As a defender, you need to have space behind you to fall back on. But right now, they're not controlling CC. They're not controlling 90. They're not controlling red stairs. They're not controlling metal stairs. And so they're just forced and cornered in their own claustrophobic area. And One Up easily takes all that space, gets the frags of any player that is poking out of those little turtling, and then is able to just secure the round from that.
Yep, definitely. And now we're going on to the third round here. East Coast, they need to really defend this up. They do have a Legion this time. They do have a Mira this time. So maybe we're going to see a better defense coming in from the Cassiopeia, Zampozo. But immediately at the beginning of the round, they do lose out. Kicks up here, and that is going to be very tough for them. Another aggressive round coming in. I think he tried to go for a spawn pick there, Kicks up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, he did.
He did a run out.
Yeah,
it was top metal run out. It's a pretty known spot, and I mean, when I mean be able to aggress on border, I mean sure spawn peaks are good, but like you can't. It's
too high of a
dying. Showing presence on a spawn peak is more important than actually getting the frag. And now Pepere stuck into workshop. There's no vertical presence from East Coast. And so now they're able to just One Up is able to just play this vertical. They have the buck to start opening up the wall or the floors. They have a jackal as well. So anytime there's any sort of outliers from East Coast, they're able to just find the footsteps, track them, and it just seems like this is going to be another impossible round here for East Coast.
Definitely, East Coast just losing everything they have. Seems like their coordination is not working out completely. Just losing a member at the very beginning of the round in a spawn pick, which is completely unnecessary. Like getting no results out of the things that you are trying to put in. They are dealing damage, but they're not finding those kills here. But look at that, Willy Will found Zamponzo, triple kill for him, and he's gonna go for the last person. They know where he is. Chizera will be able to get one, but he doesn't have anywhere to run around anymore. He's just gonna be hiding inside that tellers, but there's a lot of utilities coming here and there. The bees are there to stop him from going inside. He does know where the enemies are as well. He's gonna be able to find yet another one, and does bring out his pistol, but look at that. Ku is just there to take the revenge on his teammate, and that is gonna be another round secure for the one upside. A clean sweep. Out of all the games we've casted for Weekly Series 11, the first time I've seen a clean sweep on the first phase or the first half of the game.
I mean, this is the one up that I was expecting in map 1. Like, looking at their record, looking at the scoreboards, Willy 2K putting on a masterclass, sitting at 7-1 going into round 4. That means he's averaging 2 kills a round plus 1. Like, this man needs to be stopped. And East Coast is going to attempt to stop them by throwing in the timeout, which is also, I think, Zane, the first timeout that we've seen on cast, which is a great piece of utility, but I think East Coast is just completely lost. One up just knows border like the back of their hand. They know what strats they want to run, and they are running them fast. East Coast is a team that, as we've been seeing throughout this tournament, if their game plan that they have set up at the beginning of the round is not favorable for them, they are unable to turn it around and create a favorable position for themselves. They're relying on their set strat to give them rounds. And One Up Esports, I think, has figured that out and is pushing them into places where they can't adapt. They're pushing East Coast into a place where they can't adapt, and it's giving them such free rounds. And most of these rounds are ended within 2 minutes. Even if like the actual round doesn't end itself, it's usually like a 1v5, and it's like a little bit of stalling because somebody wants to play for the KD, you know? And so One Up, I mean, this is just absolutely amazing siege coming out from them.
Definitely, and now going on to the fourth round, finally having that change since it's a 3-3-3 format. We are gonna see East Coast playing on the attacker side, which we saw East Coast was doing pretty well on the attacker side in the previous game. One Up, on the other hand, was a bit down on the defense side. Let's see if they can finally pull it off and fix what their mistake were in the previous game and have this archive hold here, as we're gonna see East Coast gonna go for complete attack. But what is Kicks Up playing? They have a Thatcher.
Oh, that's Gridlock. So that's
Gridlock. Okay.
yeah, she lays out spikes, and defenders either have to shoot the spikes or just take a lot of damage running through them. Really, really useful for flank denial.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're like we're seeing here, if they're going to be taking armory, you can throw some spikes into CCTV and just completely deny that route from the defenders. But speaking of denying defenders, immediately Pepre punishing SNZ for having an open soft wall for the mirror without a black mirror set up. And so that's going to be a huge opening pick. And we're going to see East Coast try to flood in, but Emu finding Zampozo. It's that tip of the spear that we saw earlier on the previous map, the Ash. But Shizera finding that extra flank here from Break. And so now East Coast finding a lot of angles, but it's just being shot down from One Up. It's a flurry of kills happening one by one. They're being collapsed on. But it's just a matter of gun skill at this point. 2 versus 2, effectively a 1 versus 2. Due to Pepre being on his knees, it's up to Kicks Up. 40 HP, has the AUG in hand. Pretty solid gun to shoot back, but Willy and Ku are in really solid positions to deny any sort of play here. And there it is, Ku finding the beautiful shot there with the MP5, shutting down One Up's dreams there. And now One Up's on the board.
Yep. Now One Up is on the board, and that is 4 rounds secure for them. East Coast, they, despite winning the first round, there should be some sort of tension in between you guys. Like, okay, guys, we lost the first game. if we lose the second game, we're out of the tournament since it's a single elimination bracket. We need to make sure that we're calm and composed. Calm and composed. One Up looks like they're about to blow up. It looks like they never lost the first game. It looked like they never were there. Remember the warm up I was talking about? One Up is completely warmed up right now. And they're showing us a completely different siege. Maybe the first game looked like it was a balanced, even game. This second game doesn't even look close to that. One Up, they're winning each and every round in such a great manner. And Siege is one of the esports titles where each round is same. Everybody has the same things, same utilities, same amount of money, same guns and everything. It's not unlike other FPS games like CS:GO, Valorant, where you have economy. If you lose a round, you get behind, you get on the back foot. It's nothing like that. It's not like East Coast. After winning 1 or 2 rounds, they were on the back foot. They didn't have economy. They didn't have this and that. It was the same every time, and every time they got dominated by One Up here. And the domination will just keep on continuing as we see a different kind of setup coming in from the side of One Up, and they have changed their operators completely as well, and they are going to be holding on to those security room and main lobby here. And East Coast, they have to find a way to just get rid of this defense from One Up Esports.
Oh, this deep lurk here from Fragged and Emu is going to be absolutely vital, right? I mean, these are really ego picks. If you're feeling good, you want to start picking up lurks like the Vigil, like the Solus. Those are ops that you need to have a confidence behind yourself to be able to start picking. And so, especially Emu, 7 kills on the board with the K1A in hand, just taking up so much space, already taking down the Buck. So that's a lot of verticality game just completely off the board. They do still have the sledge, but I mean they're completely controlling the verticality game. So already a minute down, and they haven't cleared either of these lurkers. Emu finding another one, Fragged finding Pepre, and now this is an impossible round. All of a sudden, East Coast, it's just the Ash and the Grim, and looking around each other, seeing their team completely shredded by 2 roamers. And I mean, if I'm on One Up, at this point, if I'm one of the people playing Sight, I'm just on TikTok. Zampozo trying to finding Fragged. It was a beautiful there. Just like a quick little easy trade up, but finding himself in a 1 versus 4, a lot of heroics required, but I don't think he has enough. We saw him do a pretty decent job in the last map, but I don't think this is winnable at all. He's going to start getting pinched here towards Canadian, just tucking himself in. But I think the only tucking he's going to have in is in a coffin here pretty soon, Zane.
Definitely. And now, going forward to this round, I mean, East Coast just lost everything, so it's all down to Zampozo, who is 1 and 4. 1 kills and 4 deaths, and I don't think One Up Esports is just going to hunt him down. I mean, if they want, they can, and looks like Emo's going to try and decide and do that with that Uzi on the hand, and gonna definitely do that with that SMG. And look at that, just there, man. And if you are East Coast, you should feel bad right now, because what is happening, what just happened, this is not the One Up we faced on the game 1, right? It is completely changed up, and something's off. Something's very off here, and that is One Up just start popping up.
Honestly, it really just seems like One Up is playing their own game. Like at this point, like the roamers of One Up there was they were able to tuck, they were able to find their positions, deny second floor completely, and it was just an utter disrespect from East Coast. They just kept running in one by one, knowing that there was a Vigil or a Solus somewhere on the second floor, and instead of helping each other, droning each other in, trying to find that information. Obviously, Vigil and Solus are 2 info denier operators. But bring another man. Send a 3-man squad into CCTVs. Then send a 3-man squad. Start clearing these rooms together. But instead, East Coast just kind of played ranked. Just tried to shoot back. They ultimately got shot because, you know, Emu and Fragged are playing with each other, helping each other out, trading each other out. And so East Coast now facing a 5-0 deficit going into the 6th round.
Yep, definitely. And now going into this last round of their One Up playing in the defense and East Coast playing in the attack, it's gonna be interesting. We have is that a Jackal on Esports?
Yes.
Oh, I love to see me a Jackal.
Yeah, it's really
maybe.
smart, right? If
Yeah.
you're facing a bunch of roamers, then let's pick an operator that counters roamers. And this time, OneUp doesn't have the Vigil, who is one of the operators that counters Jackal, because once he's in his little zoopy mode, the Jackal scanner can't really get him. But SNZ is going to shut down any of those dreams, immediately killing Pepre and Zampozo. So that's the Jackal and the Ashe off the board. And now all of a sudden, before it's even the 1 minute mark, it's a 4 or a 5 versus 3, but Kicks Up finding Fragged in a pretty ego spot there. So they're able to recover a lot of space towards the second floor, but OneUp doesn't really care about second floor at this point. They have one person still tucked up towards the Canadian. It's Ku there on the Solus, able to find Shizera. Now all of a sudden it's a 4 versus 2. Cassiopeia and Kicks Up trying to get any sort of space, but OneUp is not giving it to him for free. There's Emu sneaking up red stairs, finding Kicks Up, but Cassiopeia able to trade it out. And so now it's just a one man versus the world, and there's Willie playing off the goo. But this is what I was talking about previously,
Oh
Zane.
yeah, there's always.
We talked about
10
it
minutes.
yesterday, and we talked about it last map. They're doing a great job of just taking up space and making East Coast fight for their space. Fight for what they need. We saw previously on Clubhouse where East Coast, both sides were just giving them the space fast. OneUp now.
Yeah.
Forcing gunfights, forcing them to use utility to get space. And that's how you defend, especially on a map like Border.
And I think this is just gonna go 7-0. OneUp seems to be unstoppable, and look at that. They are going for a super aggressive lineup here with Grim, Ashe, Ying, and man, this is gonna be, I think, a pretty easy round for them to secure. I mean, I'm not counting East Coast out yet, but OneUp, they seem to be very unstoppable. They seem to be very unstoppable, unbreakable, and nothing seems to be getting in their way right now from securing this game 2 in their bag, and possibly forcing us to see a game 3, which is gonna be held in Kafe Dostoyevsky. I don't know if I said that correctly, but always have trouble
was pretty
saying
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Russian. Who cares? I just said cafe, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't even
everybody says
try.
cafe. I don't see people saying, "Oh, let's play a game on Dostoyevsky," you know? But yeah, with that
No.
being said, oh, we're gonna see that we're gonna see the 7th, possibly the match point, the last round coming in. East Coast, they have to pick it up, or they are going to the cafe third decider map, which is gonna be a neutral map, none of their picks and all. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh, Kicks Up has the angle, but he's going to be spotted out, and Emu with the pre-fire taking him down, but he's going to be knocked to his knees. Pepre able to find that trade, but it's the Ashe that's going to be the one that's taken down. Normally, I would say that's a rough operator to lose, but that's normally when East Coast would have a Mira. And so with Mira not on the board, the Ashe charges really are really, it's just a moving R4C, right? And so OneUp has a lot of fragging potential. We're going to see that Willie 2K finding his 9th kill of the round. Something I didn't mention before. Emo's on 12. He's still tearing it up. Oh, Willie might find double digits, but he's not able to. Shizera shutting that down, but all of a sudden he looks around and 3 of his teammates are in the floor, 6 feet under. He's going to be missing that nitro. OneUp, though. They need to... They have so much space, so much time now, and a lot of drones available. Still 4 active in their pockets. And Shizera and Pepre, they just need to turtle up and pray that OneUp gives them some 1v1s to start to even this up, but I don't think OneUp is going to be doing that. They are too calm. They're too collected.
Definitely, they are too calm and they are too collected here as they are going inside. It's a 3v2 situation, and we see SNZ just looking around everywhere to find those last 2 persons. I'm not sure if they have the information on where they might be, but they are hiding inside Archive and Armory. They are holding the site. Not going to be for so long as the flashes come in.
Wow.
Everything went white and black for them here. Beautiful. As Fragged and Cook came coming in and just taking it out. And then that is going to be a 7-0 in the favor of OneUp. And we are going to the 3rd game here. T-Van,
I mean,
what just happened?
This is the OneUp that I was expecting going into this series, seeing their score lines of 7-2, 7-2, and then 7-1. Like that absolutely dominant performance. It just seemed like they had a deeper strat book. They had these maps so much more well prepared than East Coast. But Clubhouse was a different story, right? And so now it seems like we're finding two different sides of the same player or the same team, excuse me. And so I'm really curious to see what's going to happen in Cafe. And what we saw previously with East Coast is they don't really find themselves winning. They don't force their own wins. They kind of chip away at the enemy team. They start to strategize against the enemy team. And I don't think East Coast is going to let them, or I don't think One Up is going to let them do that. They have too many strategies for East Coast to be able to prepare against. And I think Cafe might just be a little bit similar to what we just saw in Border.
Yep, definitely. And with that said, we're gonna go on a short break. After the break, we're gonna be back with the third map, the decider map, which is gonna be Kafe Dostoyevsky. And guess what? That third map, I'm expecting a fight coming in from East Coast side because I don't want to see them go down. I don't want to see the one up that you were expecting to see popping off like that again. Because I love
Oof.
me some good rainbow. I love me some good fight, and it looked like East Coast did not have any fight in them in the border map. But maybe in Cafe we might see something different. Cafe, mind you, is a little bit bigger map compared to Border and the other map, Chalet. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit bigger, so I guess you have to do much more. And when it comes to doing much more, should East Coast be able to do that, or maybe they just lack that more even in that? Well, we'll find that out after the short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Skyline Weekly Series 11. We are going into map 3 of quarterfinals of East Coast versus, why do I keep forgetting their name, man? East Coast
One up.
versus One Up Esports. My God. But we are going into map 3, and reminder, this is a single elimination best of 3 bracket. And so whoever loses this map is completely out for the week, and the other team advances to semis. And Zane, we're going right back to Kafe, something that we saw previously. I mean, One Up, they went 7-1 on. So I'm a little worried for East Coast here. I don't know how you're feeling over there, Zane.
I mean, second map, they showed us what they can do, and they have shown us in the cafe previously what they have done. But then again, East Coast is a different team. I'm not going to kick out East Coast just yet. They did give us a promising performance on the first game. But after watching that second game, now that you mentioned that 7-1 previous scoreline in East Coast, I am a little worried about, East Coast. So One Up, they are beast, they are dominant, and I know they will rip everything apart in cafe. But still, we're gonna have to see how this works out because we're gonna be looking towards this beautiful, beautiful map, which is Kafe Dostoyevsky. It is the Russian map, like you mentioned. I mean, the name is Russian. I'm not sure if the map is Russian though. But yeah,
I'm sure it's somewhere in Russia, but yeah, I think
yeah,
also
I
something
guess.
to also note as well is that it is still this 3-3-3-3 format, and so if you see a 7-1, that's not just them starting on defense, getting a 6-0, losing their first round of attack, and then winning the next round. They are consistently winning attack rounds and defender rounds to get those 7-1, 7-2 victories, and so to me personally, that is showcasing a stronger team than what we were seeing previously on a 6-6 split. But going to bans here, we're going to be seeing probably some default bans. I'm curious to see if they end up banning Monty, and they're not. They're going to be banning the Deimos instead. Interesting. So usually Deimos, that to me is screaming that they're trying to deny any sort of verticality game, especially on Cafe when you're playing third floor and first floor, a Deimos is really strong because you're able to get the ping on them and shoot them from below and above. Also, you're able to root out any really deep lurks. That is very possible in Cafe. And so that to me is telling me that One Up really wants to play some deep lurks and deny a Deimos and maybe stray towards something more like a Jackal.
Yep, that definitely might be the case here as we go ahead into the last ban. It's gonna be again, once again, the Valkyrie ban, which you saw in the previous one, and few of the operators that were banned previously are left out in the in the pool right now. One of them is gonna be Blitz, and we will see a Monty being left out as well. We have the Dokkaebi open, and Monty and Dokkaebi immediately getting picked up, and Ace as well, which is really good in Cafe here. So One Up Esports, they want to start it strong. They want to start it hard onto esports here. They do have Jagger, Mute, and Aruni as well, but I mean, One Up Esports, knowing how beastly they are, I am a little worried after seeing this aggressive attack lineup from One Up Esports in this cafe map.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're gonna start using this Montane on Cafe. Normally, I don't think shield operators are as common as Cafe compared to a lot of other maps. So especially as things like the border or the clubhouse that we just barely saw. Because there's a lot of verticality on Cafe, there's a lot of angles to be shot at from below or above. Also, the nitro cells below. So, and also, especially on this third floor take, it's awkward to get Monty into the building in order to have him be fully extended and start taking space up from there. But he does have the pairings of Ash and Dokkaebi to support him, so if he is able to get into the building, I mean, East Coast doesn't have the Mira either, which is also very, very common on a third floor hold. So curious to see what East Coast's plan is to defend against Amonte here.
Definitely very curious to see what and how will they make it happen as we head on to the first round here. Cafe, uh, I guess they're gonna try to get onto the third floor from the rooftop, and third floor is where the bomb is planted out. So they are trying to get access to those vertical angles from the top and maybe try to find some pickoffs here from the side of One Up Esports. They're gonna use their drones and everything to get the information here, but look at the defenses coming in, and this positioning from Pepre. He's quite wide out in the open in the lounge. His leg might be sticking out, and he might get caught as well if he's not careful enough. Looks like he's not gonna sit out there in the corner for a very long time. And look at this Monty. Very interesting here as he goes inside this lounge, just giving away so much information, just holding it, just being a nuisance here in the lounge.
Yeah, this is interesting. He's gonna be dropping into top red and starting to take over New Balk. Ooh, that was a little scary there, but interesting. They're putting a lot of members and a lot of resources towards Piano, and One Up is saying, hey, okay, we're just gonna force Monty into top red and be able to take the space, ignoring Piano, and then just going through Cigar Shop, or even forcing Monty into the... He's taking up so much space now, forcing them completely out of Piano. Aruni now in the corner, trying to take down any sort of support behind the Monty, but it could be shot out there from the Dokkaebi. But Zampozo, the lurk from White Stairs, able to take out Fragged, I think was another pin of the attack, another part. So now it's up to this three-man squad here. Monty and the people behind him, Willie and SNZ. 3 versus 3, but once again, they have a lot of space. Some damage going on to Doc, but it is a Doc, so the adrenaline is going to go back up. That HP, Shizera, and kicks up, holding White Stairs, and Zampozo alone on Cocktail.
Yeah, that Monty just giving away so much, causing so much distraction, and just giving away so much information. They know where they exactly are. Now, One Up Esports, they just have to play it safe. They just have to play the attacking round they have. And now look at this, Monty. He's just straight up on his face, just getting those information. Gonna be able to get out one kill, but immediately gonna be traded out. Front is no longer gonna be there, but Kicks Up gets another kill onto the Monty. Finally, the shield that was causing them so much trouble goes out. It's all down to Willie 2K. He has to go for a 1v2 clutch here to take it out. He's gonna be able to take out one. Willie.
Drop laundry though.
Now he is 1 versus 1. Now does he know where the last person is? There's no time, and he's not gonna be able to find one. And there is no time for him to set up the plan nor find the last person to get that up. And it is gonna be a round in the favor of East Coast.
Interesting. I'm really curious about that attack there from One Up, because it seemed like, personally, if you showed me just a screenshot of at 60 seconds, I would have told you every day of the week One Up Esports would have won that round. If they just took up that cigar control, went through Freezer, and like kept them, all three members were stuck towards White Stairs. And so if you just have that red stair control, you can start to attack Bar through New Balcony and Freezer. But they completely ignored New Balcony. They just kept going into that crossfire they had set up on White Stairs with Jaeger and his and the Mute next to him. And it ultimately lost them the round. I mean, Monty had all the information that they needed, but One Up just didn't adapt to their defense, and it led to East Coast's first round since first round since Clubhouse, Zane.
Yep, definitely. After losing 7 rounds straight, finally East Coast are out there in the scoreboard, having their name alongside a positive number. 0 doesn't count, so having a positive number, they are not gonna go away easily, like I said, in the cafe, and they are proving that immediately, just like that. And this time around, it is gonna be yet another try to take that space. I feel like the first round, One Up Esports, they were doing everything right except for the fact. Oh
my god,
that's a very nasty spawn peek coming in. I mean, not a spawn peek, but just looking out of the window, and outside the parking just got taken out just like that. And Willie is gonna go inside. He's gonna be able to take out Cassiopeia, and now this is getting interesting as Willie is inside the VIP section. He's gonna be able to go up the stairs, possibly, if he can get Shizera there though, and that might open up the map for them. But it's gonna be hard to get them into this stairs. He is holding the vertical angle there.
They do still need to deal with Pepre on first floor and Shizera holding bot red as well. They're looking towards brown stairs, which, I mean, that is where Pepre is lurking towards, and he's actually going to be taking down Kicks Up, trading that as well. And so now all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 4 Kicks Up, just securing the round, taking down the player towards Coat. And I mean, come on now, one up. Like those were just these are just basic mistakes that they are losing rounds off of. There's no way that we're dying to two different spawn peaks.
Yeah, I mean, like,
It's cafe, man. You have to check the windows.
you're just gonna run outside the windows and you know the bomb is gonna be there like that. I mean, obviously you're gonna get shot on right on. And now we have a fireplace and reading room, second floor bomb site again. And I think, again, if I see one up's dying to spawn peaks here from the second floor, that is gonna be pretty sad.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's once you die to a spawn peak, you should never die to it again. But I don't know. I feel like those spawn peaks were pretty. Those are the most common spawn peaks I've seen. The top piano spawn peak,
Yeah.
and then one from bakery. I mean, you see the door open. Usually, a lot of people on cafe will set up default cameras or their default drones to just watch the spawn peaks. But enough about that. I mean, I'll harp on it a lot, but I personally think that from that round, that's what really lost them. But this is their third round. One up does need that momentum. We saw it previously on border. If they can start getting some rounds under their belt, maybe they can continue to carry that on. But East Coast so far is showing a completely different team here on Cafe.
Yeah, definitely. And now at the very beginning of the round, we will lose one member again. Was that a red stairs?
It was a freezer spawn peak. And Zamposa finds one as well through a dining window.
What is happening now?
Oh my
Everyone's
God.
dying. They do have a shield operator up. I believe that's a Monty.
again.
Yeah,
Montaigne,
it's a
yeah.
Monty. And but what can you do? You just lost two important members that could have given you cover. Now Monty getting those map controls, this will not do anything to them. I think Monty is just sitting on the rooftop, still hasn't come down yet. Finally, they will drop off to the third floor, and maybe they're trying to make a breach here. But look at this positioning from in Cigar Lounge from Kicks-Up. Do they know about him though? He's gonna take a peek. He's gonna try and take out. Oh, did he just leave the game?
Wow. No, that was a different play. That was someone that already got spawn peaked, but
Okay.
fragged. They're able to escape and get the re-peak there. Really well played. Oh my God, and he's finding a second. This is huge. That just completely evening it up. Something about playing second floor on Cafe is that holding third floor is really important. Unfortunately, the Buck from 1UP was one of the players that died so early on, but Fragged still has the super sortie, and so they're able to maybe open up some verticality to be able to attack this bomb site, but that's the complete vertical control. But Pepre running down to red stair, might be trying to rotate all the way to white stair and lurk from there. But no one's towards red stair, except for the Monty starting to play towards it. But curious to see how 1UP ends up attacking this bomb site. They're going to be finding a Rooney on the B in library. And so now the question is, where's Zampozo and where's Pepre? That's exactly what Ku is asking himself right now, as he's starting to take up a lot more space towards second floor.
Definitely.
Oh
as
my
we
God.
Oh, that.
Another drop. They're going in. They're going all in. They know exactly
is
where
bad.
Rooney is, but Zampozo needs to find some timing to help his teammate out. And there it is, Frag finding his third kill of the round. Shizera knocked down. Zampozo, though, has the footholds, but now Monty is chasing him down. He does have the escape hole, but there goes the little rock. He's pushing him down. He's knocking him into the wall, and there's the P19 to end his life. And there's 1UP. Oh. Sorry, that looks so funny, just pushing him into the bomb, but finally, 1UP showing off what they showed previously, and that's going to be 1UP taking the time out here so that they can get the reconnect of their other player.
Definitely, they do need the reconnection here. I feel like they need to talk among themselves a little bit. Like, guys, what is wrong? What's going on? It looked like a really bad round. Why are we getting those spawn peaks? I mean, why are we getting? Why are we getting? Okay, I think that's never mind. That's a timeout because of one of their team members. But yeah,
Yeah,
this
they
timeout.
use the tack, but yeah.
They do get a time to talk about those spawn peaks, right? It happened 2 rounds straight for them. that's not something that's supposed to be happening. Though they don't have to worry about that anymore because they are on the defense side right now. So I'm guessing that it shouldn't be that of an issue. But then again, they are gonna be going back to the attacker sometime after 3 rounds. That's when they need to start worrying about those spawn peaks again.
I will say though, that round, Fragged able to find 3 kills there on the gridlock, like that is the sign of life that OneUp really needs, right? That round, honestly, should have been impossible. The Buck and the Jackal, those are 2 huge operators that allow them to get the space that they wanted, but it was up to the heroics of Frags finding those 2 kills on 3rd floor that absolutely won them the round, right? Like, if he was unable to get that space, I don't know. The tech pause is throwing me off, but the 3v5, being able to clutch that back up, that should have been a lost round. This should be 3-0. But it's when you're able to win rounds that feel and should be impossible, that's when your composure and that's when your arrogance starts to come back. That momentum that we saw on Border starts to really come back. And I think OneUp might be repeating themselves. This could easily be a 7-2 if they can get their 5th member back into the lobby. But unfortunately, it seems that that player was sent out due to a loss of internet. And so now it's just up to if the ISP will allow them to come back into the stream.
Yeah, definitely. And it is down to the last. I think it was who got disconnected. I'm not sure who got disconnected. I think it was.
It's a great question.
It was
Willie.
Willie 2K. Yeah.
My boy Willie.
Yeah.
A Stewie 2K fan, I believe. He's got the 2K in his name, bro.
Stewie did. I didn't know Stewie played Rainbow, but okay.
No, he does not.
Yeah,
I think it's just Anyway, shout out to Stewie 2K though.
Yeah, shout out to Stewie 2K.
Across genres, like a name across games. You know what I mean?
Definitely a symbol 2K that everybody uses. I see people using that symbol even in some other games, which is not even complete FPS like these. Like I see them use that in PUBG. I see them using that in Dota, which is MOBA game. So yeah, I mean, Cocktail Lounge Bar. Again, they have to hold that. They have to hold that. What was it called again? I keep forgetting. Called out.
The Skylight?
The lounge. Besides the lounge.
Oh, yeah, cigar.
Cigar, yes. Yeah. Cigar lounge. They need to hold the cigar lounge really, really well.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, Willy Boy is back.
That's huge.
An immediate
Willy
Wumai.
Yay. Yeah, it's smart. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty big W's in chat. W Willy.
W Willy.
We're going to be seeing a lot more of a default hold here for the set of OneUp, and this is what I was expecting East Coast to have, is this Mira. He's going to be taking it into Cocktail and holding the Cocktail single wall. We're seeing it on that reinforcement that he's placing right now. He's going to be placing a Mira there, and he's able to control Cocktail from there, as well as New Balk. And then they're going to hold Piano from Bathroom here. So it's going to be some rotates, and they're playing outside of Piano. Compared to what we saw East Coast do, where they were playing inside Piano, like heavily, which I was shocked that was not punished. Usually the only time that you're playing inside Piano is if you have an Azami and a Castle, because you have a lot of utility to play around to defend yourself. But anyway, this is a pretty basic setup here, and I'm curious to see what East Coast strategies are to be able to knock down this default.
Yep, definitely. And as we get into this 4th round here, East Coast having that lead, which we saw in the first game, a little bit of deja vu from the first game. OneUp Esports had one scoreline, and East Coast has double, and that was going great in the favor of East Coast. But now I'm guessing we might see something completely different, since OneUp has shown us what they can do potentially. But East Coast, they are coming back. They're coming back really strong. It is back and forth in terms of rounds again. Oh, They're gonna be holding the stairs, and I guess East Coast, they will try to take the entry. They are trying to break those rooftops, and
Oh
perhaps they're
my
gonna be getting
god.
inside. Oh, somebody just got decimated. That's the one thing, that if you wanna drop out from the top, you gotta be careful about those C4s, because somebody can just knock you off with those, and immediately after that, Pepre is gonna go down after coming out. And East Coast are having very, very rough here. One Up seems to be picking up their slack and going on to the defense round after changing. One Up seems to be back in their form again.
Yeah, and the Fenrir is doing a beautiful job of not allowing East Coast into the building. I believe there's 2 F knots on the 2 drops that they've been trying to go through here. The new Balk hatch, and then also the red stairs hatch here. So that Mira placing a pre-placed C4, or no, it was Ku, the mute with a pre-placed C4, going off of Fenrir's F knot, going off, then able to, oh my god, the jump out from Fragged is crazy. No, you can't be doing that, man. And now it's just East Coast trying to pick up the pace, but One Up Esports is, I mean, welcome back. This is what I was talking about before. Getting a steal of a round like that last round, that 3v5, gives One Up that momentum again. And I mean, it's just a Dokkaebi versus the world. The logic bomb going off, hitting 4 of the members of One Up, and I mean, he's just on the roof trying to discover anything, but this vert here from Emu is going to be terrifying and nearly impossible for Shizera to be able to navigate through.
Yeah,
Really
definitely
interesting
there.
strat here. This is something that like a lot of teams will do. A lot of people in chat might be thinking, "Oh, he's conserving his KD. He's trying to like look good for the stats." What is actually happening here is he's staying alive so that his team can talk about the game, right? This is like a mini tactical timeout because, you know, the round is already impossible. The round is already lost. So they might as well start talking about next round, start strategizing. Okay, they're probably going to go into bakery. They're probably going to go into freezer. What do we do then? What can we start playing? What can we change up? What went wrong that round? It's a nice little 30 seconds to a minute that you're granted because you lost the round so fast. So just want to clue people in there.
Just wanna include that, and that is something nicely said. Even I heard many teams doing that, and they do that intentionally. No, they're not conserving KD. They are talking about their teams. If I saw him running around, then maybe would have been a different case. But we saw him just go into a corner, just give some time, make sure that he doesn't die, and just talk about some tactics. Like One Up Esports, they did manage to win 2 rounds. 2 rounds straight, I believe. Wait,
That's their second round in a row now.
second
It was
round, yeah.
2 and then 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they did needed to talk. I mean, East Coast, that on the defense, they are not able to stop this One Up lineup.
Yeah, they're looking really solid, and now Emu on the Solus. Something that was really strong on the previous map of Border, finding a lot of space in the second floor. So curious, it looks like Emu is tucked into third floor, so a lot of verticality denial from the side of One Up, which is what you love to see on Kafe, but it's also the spawn peaks of Kafe. I don't think anyone has spawned on that side. Some shots being fired back, but Fragged able to pick up one. And that's going to be the Jackal. And so now these roamers are able to feel a lot more confident in the top floor. Fragged falling after third floor. Trying to link back up with Emu. And it's Emu and Fragged. We saw them before on Border. They work so well together on these deep lurks, helping each other out, securing a lot of rounds for themselves. And so now it's going to cost East Coast a lot of time to try and draw out these lurks and get them off the board so that they're able to get into the first floor. Oh my god, and off the sound cue from Emu, the drop down Shizera is immediately shut down. And now that's a minute wasted. 2 people off the board. The Dokkaebi dead. Both of the lurk clears dead. Fragged finding a second kill of the round. That's Pepre. So now it's up to an IQ and a buck. And if you want to secure a round, you do not want those 2 operators as the only ones remaining. Cassiopeia locked down as well. So once again, another impossible task for East Coast to find themselves in, and One Up quickly decimating them not allowing them any time to talk or breathe like we saw previously.
Definitely, and like like we saw that one up just making a comeback, and I do remember a line that is from the movie John Wick when he says in the end, everybody's been asking me if I'm back or not, and hell yeah, I'm back. And One Up is gonna be saying hell yeah, we are back, because One Up, they have been completely getting back to their original form, as we saw, and they are doing that one thing, like you said, which East Coast didn't do in the defense side, is having that Mira covering those sides. So I think this is a really, really good thing to do. Also, they have the Legion, and the way they're holding off these angles are amazing. But now they are gonna be having a fireplace hold, right? Yes. No?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
second
is a fireplace.
floor.
Second floor, yeah.
Yeah, this dining train, this is pretty common. I'm actually really surprised that they're not going into bakery. That's usually where we see the secondary. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm,
Oh,
I'm,
oh.
I'm actually gonna move my point. East Coast is rocking Dokkaebi Finka Amaru Blitz, so they're gonna be playing really fast here. And so I want to try to see what their preparation is for this round. I don't know if they're going to go instantly. Something that we sometimes see on these library holds is going through the main door. Yeah, this door right here that Cassiopeia is going up towards. They might go right into library, sneak the defuse in the doorway, and then play post plant. Kind of similar to what we've seen on border. But it looks like they're super aware of it. The TSG going to be knocking down Shizera. It is the Dokkaebi. That's a lot of logic bombs down, but Emu is finding Pepre. That's the Amaru. The Amaru was supposed to be the red herring towards the third floor, but he's gonna be knocked down. It's just a flurry of kills. It's all up to the Blitz now. Cassiopeia finding one, but it's a 1 versus 4, and all he has is a pistol and a lot of tears to shed. Fragged, knocking him down, and One Up is showcasing why they were able to find a 7-1 previously on this map.
Definitely, they look so strong on the defender side. Like you said, they are playing pretty default way, but they're not playing it in default. I feel like even if they play a default lineup, even if they play a default setup, they win by default anyways. So that difference looked very massive. And now East Coast, maybe they saw One Up do whatever they did, and now maybe they will try to pick it up, because we see another Monty coming in, which we did not see from the side of East Coast, and I think it's gonna be a completely uh different type of push coming in from the side of One Up, because I feel like they've always been trying that Monty lineup on the attacker side on One Up Esports, even though it didn't work wonders for them in the first phase. I mean, yeah, sure, Monty did enter the lounge and everything, like to control the cigar lounge completely, getting all those information, getting those front lines, and having him in front of you just makes it things easier. But I don't think they've been able to secure too many rounds with that.
No, they really haven't, but I don't know if that's necessarily the Monty's fault. Oh my, yeah, there's no way we
Yeah.
died to this one, right? He even broke
No.
the window. Yep, thank
Oh.
God. I was gonna say, he prepared that window probably as, like, obvious as possible.
Yeah.
Thank God he got punished. And honestly, with the momentum One Up has, I don't think you can ever spawn peek these guys anymore. They are on fire. And I think that is exactly the gun skill that you need, especially if you're playing with a Monty. We did
Yeah.
see previously, though, Fragged, when he was working with Ku on the Monty, he was able to recover a really massive round. And I know I keep talking about round 3 of that 3v5, but I really do think that that was part of the winning strategy. But they're still trying to get into the building. Kicks up, hopping out of a window now, pinned down, forcing into a 3v3 now immediately. With, I mean, it was less than a minute taken, and now it's up to the 3 members that are staying in the site. The 2 lurks there, the dedicated lurks for East Coast, already dead. Ash, Twitch, and Monty on the board from the attack side. So that's the Capita arrows off the board. The hard breach is off the board. So now it's about what space can Ku find on the Monty, and how can Emu and Frag support that space.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that very first kill on this beginning of the round on the spawn peak. I mean, One Up Esports, they've already fallen for that twice, and Esports, they can't do that for the third time on One Up Esports. They're not gonna fall for the same trick again and again. The barbed wire is stopping that Monty from getting down though, so he's just gonna have to go inside that cigar lounge again. Opening that up, cigar lounge. Monty just doing his job perfectly, but he have to be careful about the vertical angle. He might get shot from the corners, which he does not want to happen. But Cocktail Lounge is completely held by this team, and now the Monty taking the entry here onto the side. He has to be careful. Monty, you don't want the Monty coming up to you. That is gonna just corner you into the corner, and I think that's what they like to do here. Oh,
And the smoke's now going down, pressuring a push. They're fragged, finding the opening pick, finally trying to open up the round. And now that's that crossfire from Freezer and Single just completely cut off. And now the diffuser trying to go down. They're covering Freezer. Fragged is going to be knocked to his knees, but the diffuser is going down, and now it's all up to the post plant. Emu able to fall off and try to get to the vertical, but it's not going to happen. Cassiopeia shutting that down instantly. So now it's just Ku, the shield, the Monty. His feet are going to be shot up. It's Shizera and Cassiopeia with the shotgun, with the SMG. Knives being traded, but it's not enough. Shizera with the Mossberg, able to secure this round. And once again, we're seeing East Coast bring it back on the defense.
yep, definitely. I feel like East Coast, they are very strong when it comes to them being on the attacker side, and One Up, they were good on the defense side, but you know, One Up, they haven't been able to secure much in the attacker round. So I have to really you know, I think they did waste their timeout, but they really need to talk about their comms and coordinations inside their Discord or wherever they're doing the comms, because they haven't been able to secure many rounds in the attacker on the attacker side, and that needs to be fixed. I mean, every time it looks like they have the advantage, they have the side, they have the control, they have the Monty going in, giving you the information, they have literally everything, but they're not being able to use that everything to their advantage.
Yeah, I also want to chalk it up to the fact that 2 of their members were picked off, and it was honestly some of the 2 most important members of their lineup, the Capitao and the Ace, being dropped instantly from these spawn peaks. And so One Up, as much as Fragged was able to get that early pick on the Solus, taking him out off the map, it was still 2 members being picked off from the spawn peaks. And so if One Up shows a little bit more respect, takes a little bit more time to start poking and prodding on the outside of the map, that is going to secure them a lot more rounds. Just that respect of the spawn peaks. I hope to see that respect being taken. Emu is showing a little bit of respect there and some restraint. And I think East Coast is also restraining against some spawn peaks here. I don't think I saw very many, but... So it's going to be a pretty standard bakery hold and take here, with Pepre the only one in Lurk, but he's going to break the window. That's a huge audio cue for One Up, but did they hear it? I don't know. I don't know just yet. You can't jump out from 3rd floor, though. It's a little too high, so he can't make any crazy plays. He can maybe get one as he's falling, but you really don't want to do that. He's trying to find any sort of angle, but it's not going to be given to him, and it's going to be immediately a lot of space going into 1st floor, and Kicks Up is going to be the first to fall there. Emu finding 2. Zampozo, the only other bakery player, and now he's lurking right into Freezer. Cassiopeia trying to support his players in bakery, but it's going to be shut down immediately, and he's immediately into sight. Shizera and Pepre are trying to play the vert, but One Up does not care. They found the gap. They found the hole. They're forcing their way into the site, and now it's up to East Coast to try to take it back. Fragged holding red stairs beautifully, able to find that one lurk. And now Pepre from 3rd floor, finding his way to bar now, but he has to retake a site that he was on the defensive end of. Emu able to find that kill. Heady, flawless round there from One Up. And a beautiful execution and a great punish there from One Up.
Definitely. And finally, the comeback we were looking for from the side of One Up Esports here in the attacker side. And I feel like they did found a I'm not gonna say like you know, East Coast played bad, but One Up just found the mole that they were looking for. Not a mole like the exploit. You know, they wanted to exploit that defense, how to break through that defense, and they were exactly able to do that. And One Up, played a pretty fast round there. It felt like it just started and ended at the, in a matter of few seconds. And one up, just being able to secure the round makes me confident that they might be able to wrap the game up. They have one last round, which is gonna be the round 9 on the attacker side, and then they move back to defense again, where they were clean, where East Coast wasn't able to secure a single round. So even if one up does lose this round, then they go to the defense again, and perhaps they will be able to secure 2 rounds, perhaps secure the game. So East Coast, they really need to win this round, and they really need to call for a timeout or talk about how they're gonna do their things on the attacker side, because one up is constantly preaching and pressuring East Coast right now.
This defense from East Coast is honestly scaring me. They're playing outside of Bakery and outside of Prep. And so if one up finds the same angle that they saw last round, they are playing inside of Mini. I'm gonna be trying to deny that. This is a weird defense from East Coast. I feel like they're trying to adapt to what one up abused last round, but it's giving one up the space that they were able to gain and exploit last round. Emu immediately finding Shizera again from these red stairs, finding Cassiopeia as well, exploiting the exact same defense that East Coast did. This is something we were talking about before. East Coast cannot adapt to teams that have a way into their defense, and now Emu's hopping in, finding his third. He finds the fourth on top of red stairs, but Zampozo is shutting down the 4K. But now all the information that 1UP needs to secure their match point round is in their hands. Willie gonna be knocked to his knees. Actually finding fragged as well, so all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 2, so completely winnable. But SNZ shutting it down completely. And now 1UP is at match point. And you gotta start feeling for East Coast here, right? The pressure is on. They're starting to get backed into a corner. If they lose this next round, this next attacking round, something that they've been kind of struggling on, they're going to be completely out of the bracket.
Okay, they go for... Alright. They go for a Fenrir, Legion, Mira, Mute, Wamai. How do you break this defense? I mean, sure, you got a Yana, you got a Jackal, you got a Brava, you got a Dokkaebi, you got an Ashe, but are you going to be able to breach through those defenses?
They need to have the best Brava drone ever to be able to get this round. I feel like they don't really have mirror denial, right? I mean, they have the Ashe, but the way that you prep mirrors on this site, it's really difficult to break those open with those charges.
Yeah.
And so I would rather have them have like a Twitch to start shutting them down, because there's a lot of utility, but instead they're picking up the Nook.
Or maybe go for the Hibana. Hibana does break the mirror, right?
Yeah, but the Wamai is stopping it as well.
Yeah, the Wamai is stopping it as well. Yeah, correct.
The Wamai is going to be stopping the Ashe charges and the Hibana charges, and so I don't know. This is going to be a dicey round here from East Coast, but it's no, they're not going to give it to him. I don't think so. But it seems, honestly, East Coast is going for comfort characters. They're playing like the solo queue comp. Dokkaebi, Ashe, Brava, Nook, Zoph. Like, it seems more like, hey, just play what you're confident on. If you're able to frag out, then go for it. Like, they are all off the leash, and Pepre is already up to second floor. Red stairs, a lot of space going in, but 1UP, they're turtled in. They're turtled in third floor. They don't care about first floor. They don't care about second floor. It's all about the fights on the stairs and when East Coast decides to drop.
Yep, definitely. And onto the match point, we're gonna maybe see possibly one man down. Does deal quite a bit of damage, but was not able to take him out. And I think that was a bit of a mistake. He didn't even go for the ADS. He just went on left click there, and that obviously the bullets will not gonna hit him. Not even gonna be close here. And we're gonna see now they're gonna be struggling a little bit, not for too long, as Willie 2K will be able to find one in the lounge, and that is gonna be the equalizer. Score is there, and now this is gonna be huge. He does not know where he is. The C4 is there, will not connect onto anybody, but it does not matter. On the other hand, East Coast will be able to find 2 kills, and now making it a 2v4 situation here on their favor. But they do have a Mira available. The C4 is not gonna deal any damage to anybody here, and now they do have to go through those mirrors. They do have to go through that Mute as well. who does hold the site in their favor for the time being, but not for too long. It's the attacks are going to come in from every single corner. Mute trying his best to survive all those shootings from everywhere. They have 1 minute left on the clock, trying their best to use that time to their advantage. They have to go in. I feel like they can if they can just like get that Mira out of that window. If they corner him, maybe it's gonna be pretty easy for them. And yes, they do find the mute here, and now it's all down to Mira. It's all down to SNZ, who's not gonna be able to hold him as he's gonna be covered from every single corner. Pretty nice buddy play coming in from there at East Coast side, and look at that. Even though it looked like very impossible defense lineup to break in, I think 1UP just went super aggressive on the defensive side. They just did not do what they're supposed to do and just gave the round away to East Coast.
Yeah, this is something that we saw 1UP do perfectly on Border, right? They just
Yeah.
completely they just flooded site and stopped caring about the utility, stopped caring about the strategy of the game, and just pushed and said, "Play your ones, take up the space that you find. If you find a gap, just go for it. Just off the leash." And this is something, honestly, that I've talked to a lot of other tier 4, tier 3 teams about, is when you're up against like a tournament favorite or a team that you deem better than yourself, what do? Just play like it's ranked. Just
Yeah.
go. Just play weird and off angles and play for your ones, because the other team is expecting a default take, right? 1UP was defending against what is normally an attack on third floor. But when East Coast just completely scraps that and tries to find angles and tries to play their ones, then bada bing, bada boom, you pick up a free round. And I mean, they're still facing match point, but that could be a round into a momentum shift into an overtime that we saw on the first map.
Yep, definitely. And now, match point yet again. 1UP Esports, maybe this time around, they're not going to make those silly mistakes and they're not going to be pushing out. Instead, they're going to play the defensive style that they were supposed to play in the previous round. But we do see a spawn pick coming in again from
Oof.
Imu to Trunt. He does have a... Is that a sniper?
It's the Boss G. It's the double-barreled shotgun with
Yeah.
the buckshot. Yeah, so something I do want to note that Emu and Fragged are once again on deep lurk together. We saw it be so successful on Border, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to their timing on when will they flank the first floor take here from East Coast.
Yep, definitely. It's gonna come out really fast
Oh my
actually,
god.
as they take out 2 members here and 3 members
Oh
here,
no.
4
Oh no.
members here. Guess what, East Coast? There comes the flank. There goes your back, and you were not watching properly. And it's gonna be all down to Kickstop. He's gonna be able to take out one. He does spot another one. He knows where they are, but can he
Wow.
take care of that though? No, they cannot. As the super flank comes in, as guess what? They take out the third game in a style. 1UP is gonna be the victors of the quarterfinal series today, and what a match from them.
I mean, congratulations to 1UP. It really did seem like when they were playing their own game, they are absolutely terrifying on it. East Coast just got completely swept on Border. Clubhouse was a different story. It was really close, going 7-5, going nearly the distance. And Cafe, it seemed like they just had a deeper strat book. Sure, they were starting to drop a couple rounds, but they just knew how to attack Cafe. They knew the default defenses, and it was just kind of a couple weird rounds where maybe they were making a couple too many mistakes. And honestly, Siege is a game about who makes more mistakes, and it seems like East Coast, at the end of the day, was that team that made more mistakes than 1UP.
Yep, definitely. And they did come up to the quarterfinals, though. They were in the top 8 of the tournament amongst almost, I guess, 26 teams, if I'm correct. But yeah, I mean, they did come out on the top 8. They did go for the quarterfinals. So next time, I hope they come back stronger, and I hope they are able to just come back better. I mean, 1UP, they did give us one of a hell of a show, especially that Border. I feel like they
Yeah.
really need to work on their Border East Coast. I mean, they did okay on Cafe. They did really good on the Chalet, but Border, it's one of the basic maps. It's one of the maps where everybody seems like to know what they should be doing. I mean, you get into the game, even if you're a new player, probably know what Chalet is because Border is because it's one of the smallest map and not very hard to remember. So, yeah, I mean, they should be fixing whatever mistakes they made and come back stronger. Congratulations to One Up for moving up to the semifinals, though. They will have to face whoever's on the semifinal. If I take a quick look at the challenger mode here, if you would like to give me a second there, I want to check who they are going to be going up against. If I check correctly, they're going to be going up against F2C, who we spectated yesterday. And
Yeah.
we know F2C is good. Really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to find my notes of that game.
Yeah.
To remind myself.
They did go on third game against Beef Coast, who East Coast and Beef Coast both getting out of the tournament at the same time. It kind of makes me sad. All the coastline people are just going out. But yeah, F2C got a 2-1 victory against Beef Coast, so they're going to be going up against. Also, Sacramento Skyline is also in the semifinals, which is one of our own squads, who is won their game against Conquer. I don't know whatever their name was, but yeah, their team name is not showing. But yeah, and then Fatherless Fraggers are gonna be going against one against Team Silenced Esports. Fatherless Fraggers, thank you. What a name. They're gonna be going. They won against Team Silenced Esports in a 2-0. So they're gonna be going against Sacramento Skyline R6 tomorrow, and F2C is gonna be going up against One Up Esports. So I'm guessing we're going to be streaming the Fatherless Fraggers versus Sacramento Skyline R6 because we haven't watched any of these teams play before. And I'm excited to see how Sacramento Skyline performs as well as Fatherless Fraggers because I am, to be honest, even though Sacramento Skyline is our team, I am slowly and steadily, cheeky-peekily supporting Fatherless Fraggers just because they have a cool name.
Crazy. I mean, I have no skin in the game as much as Skyline has been treating me quite well as a caster. Also, I mean, I'm here for some great Rainbow Six Siege.
I mean, I do find the name very cool, right? Fatherless Fraggers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so that is gonna be our games that are gonna be upcoming tomorrow in the semifinals, which is gonna be 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, best of 3, and whoever wins is gonna be going to that grand final, which is gonna be a best of 5 series. And ooh, am I excited for that? Yes, I am. Guess what? Best of 5 means more maps. More map means we don't get to see just some border 7-0s. We're gonna get to see probably some maps like Skyscraper, which I absolutely hate, by the way. Skyscrapers. We're gonna be seeing some other big map as well besides the small maps we've been seeing this entire time. Maybe we'll get to see some I don't know, some Night Haven, some Bank, big ass maps.
I love me some Bank.
But yeah, I gotta admit, I love me some Bank as well. So yeah, but with that said, today's best of 3 is done, and we have a winner. We have winners, actually. All of the games are done. So we have One Up Esports going to the semifinals. We have F2C going to the semifinals. We have Sacramento Skyline R6 going to the semifinals. Fatherless Fraggers going to the semifinals. And we have Team Silence, who are not gonna be going forward. They're gonna be knocking out, and Conquer, they're gonna be knocking out, and Beef Coast and East Coast, both of the coastliners, they're gonna be knocked out as well. Thank you for participating in the tournament, and we wish to see you guys again in the weekly series 12, which is gonna be coming after 1 week break. Gonna be end of the month. So guys, stay tuned for that. Maybe start practicing, see what the mistakes you made, and maybe come back stronger. Anything else you gotta say from your side, T-Van?
No, just thank you again, Zane, for casting with me, and thank you to the viewers, and thank you again to Alpha for observing and being the man in the back, controlling and wrangling all the creatures that are Rainbow Six players, getting them into lobby, and thank you to the chat and to the viewers for sticking around, being so active in the chat, and for viewing and enjoying Rainbow Six Siege with us today. But
yeah,
until
definitely.
tomorrow, have an amazing day.
Yeah. From the casting desk is going to be me, Zane, along with T-Van, and we're going to be signing out for today. See you guys again tomorrow. It seems like their coordination is not working out completely. Just losing a member at the very beginning of the round in a spawn pick, which is completely unnecessary. Like getting no results out of the things that you are trying to put in. They are dealing damage, but they're not finding those kills here. But look at that. Willie Will found Zamponzo, triple kill for him, and he's going to go for the last.
way into their defense, and now Emu's hopping in, finding his third. He finds the fourth on top of red stairs, but Zampozo is shutting down the 4K. But now all the information that 1UP needs to secure their match point round is in their hands. Willie gonna be knocked to his knees. Actually finding fragged as well, so all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 2, so completely wet. The Grimpies is gonna give him a live ping now too, but he has the reinforcement to be able to cook. And now Warden able to reconnect with his teammate. Zampozo taken down there from the footholds, but Pepper able to find Willie. It's now 3 versus 4. That table player is absolutely massive, but we need to be watching these other players. Kicks up, dropping in from Kitchen Hatch off and try to get to the vertical, but it's not going to happen. Cassiopeia shutting that down instantly. So now it's just Ku, the shield, the Monty. His feet are going to be shot up. It's Shizera and Cassiopeia with the shotgun, with the SMG. Knives being traded, but it's not enough. Shizera with the Mossberg able to secure.
Gonna be able to get out 1 kill, but immediately gonna be traded out. Front is no longer gonna be there, but Kicks Up gets another kill onto the Monty. Finally, the shield that was causing them so much trouble goes out. It's all down to Willie 2K. He has to go for a 1v2 clutch here to take it out. He's gonna be able to take out one. Willie.
Drop laundry though.
Now he is 1 versus 1.
They do still need to deal with Pepre on first floor and Shizera holding bot red as well. They're looking towards brown stairs, which, I mean, that is where Pepre is lurking towards, and he's actually going to be taking down Kicks Up, trading that as well. And so now all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 4 Kicks Up, just securing the round.
It's gonna come out really fast actually as they take out 2 members here and 3 members here, 4 members here. Guess what, East Coast? There comes the flank, there goes your back, and you were not watching properly, and it's gonna be all down to Kicks Up. He's gonna be able to take out one. He does spot another one. He knows where they are, but can he take care of that though? Pozo is doing pretty interesting as well. Zampozo is not going to do much. He's going to go down, and it's a 4v2 situation. I might have spoken too soon, but never mind. There is going to be a kill onto Peple. The time is not there.
The frag!
Raj, they're not going to be able to do anything. Pepper with the double kill. Pepper with the triple.
The
and defenders, they go down.
Trying to defend Moto as much as possible. Kicks Up is actually going to be the first one down. Turn here. Emu trying to find something, but is down to the pistol to be able to give... the plant is going down. The Nitro is going to be spoiling all of that. Cassiopeia doing a beautiful job of playing behind Church, using the...
But now you have to play a little bit more defensively, a little bit back off. Maybe give away the zone to them, because if the attackers start rushing in, it's going to be hard. Oh, that was a hard drop. But he did not get punished for that. Oh, wait, what?
No way.
He just walked in and died again. Pepre getting a double kill there, and that he's just going to get more